Hello, welcome into our On Campus with Game On boys basketball show. I'm your host, Jeff Beideman, and I'm here at Central Bucks South High School. And as you can plainly see, my regular partner for boys basketball, Renee Washington, is not here. But have no fear, Renee is at Temple University covering the boys basketball playoffs, and she filed this report.
I am here at Temple University in the Leo Corr Center, and I just finished watching the District One 6A semifinal games. Starting with Central Bucks West, since they lost, they played Plymouth Whitemarsh, a team that just beat them a couple weeks ago, the only team that has beaten them in the last month and some change. And they were just outmatched, plain and simple. Coming into this game, they were underdogs. They knew they had nothing to lose. Colin McAdams was healthy to play this game, and he was sick last game with mono and was unable to play the first time they played PW. But the biggest thing that hurt them, turnovers, and then also PW had a quick start to put the game away early. So the entire game, West was digging out of a hole, and against a team like Plymouth Whitemarsh, it's not going to happen. I mean, I know Naheem McLeod gets a lot of attention because he's 7'2", 7'3", and a very good player, but they have a number of other talented guys, Ishorn, the Williams brothers, players coming off the bench that are just as dangerous. So for CB West, they had too many costly turnovers, and they just weren't shooting well. And that's something that you can't play yourself back into it no matter how much you try if you can't score the basket. And for CB West, they just weren't able to score. They weren't able to get the stops they needed. And it was an off day for them offensively, and they had a number of turnovers. So they did lose to PW, but the bright news is they still have the state tournament, and they know this. And they're already talking about how hungry they are to make a deep state tournament run. It's not over yet for the Bucks. There is more basketball to be played. And another team that's headed to states, but first has some business to handle in the district tournament championship, Abington. So they played Lower Merion in the first game of the doubleheader. Abington, coming into this game, knew that Lower Merion was going to throw everything possible at them, just like every other team has done so far this season. And they jokingly mentioned they have played against pretty much every defense, half-court press, full-court press, 2-3 zone, 3-2, man-to-man, whatever. They have seen it, they have played against it, so they knew whatever Lower Merion did throw at them, they'd be able to handle it. Also, they've been here before. They were just here last year as they won a district championship in 6A, and they're back again. So having that experience, having so many talented players that have had big minutes last year, still had big minutes and contribute this year, coming into this game, they were not the least bit worried. So when Lower Merion did go on some runs to try to close the gap, because Abington led for the entire game, Abington stayed calm and composed. They didn't ever stray away from their game plan. They continued to run their offense. They continued to do what they had to do to get the win. So they get to play against Plymouth Whitemarsh Saturday. That is the game that everybody is looking forward to, because they thought these two teams were going to match up in the SOL tournament, but Abington was knocked out by CB West. So now it's the long-awaited game that we have all been waiting for. Abington versus Plymouth Whitemarsh Saturday in the district championship, right here at Temple, and it's going to be a great game. I'm going to be here, so I'm looking forward to it. And then we do have a couple of other teams that are still playing, and that's Bensalem, Neshaminy. Penridge is obviously headed to states, but for Bensalem and Neshaminy, they had to win in their Tuesday night game, and they did. Neshaminy won over Conestoga. Bensalem won in overtime. Both teams, well, they play each other Friday night, but they're also headed to states. So I know we talk a lot about Abington and CB West, but we have some other teams that are still playing, still working each day to make a far run in the state tournament. So a lot of exciting basketball left to be played for the start of our March Madness period of high school basketball.
Thanks, Renee. That'll do it for this week's show. We'd like to thank Central Bucks South High School for hosting Game On. A reminder, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at HS Game On. And make sure to check out our Around Campus Wrestling show on Wednesday. Thanks again for watching, and Renee and I will see you next Friday.